Oh, there we go. Hey, John, where are you? Do you want to follow Thomas? Because so, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tony Boucher, father of Sam.
Tony.
Those of you that do know me, I'm the father of Sam. Thank you, Mike. After what Thomas had to say here, I think Sam was probably adopted. And I accept responsibility for what he is. So I'm the father of Sam, as well as Zachary and Maxwell. When I was sitting down, well, first off, I wasn't even planning on coming up here. I just wanted to enjoy the wedding. As father of the groom, you don't have to do too terribly much. You just show up, say hi to people, and eat some good food. But then Sam said, "Oh, Dad, we'll do a speech." And I'm like, "Crap, do I have to?" So I started working on a sentimental speech. I want to tell you how much I love Sam and Kate. I just couldn't do it. And I explain why. I couldn't see through the tears. It's like there was no way I could do this and keep my composure. It's like, okay, that one's out. I hope you guys know I love you. I can't do that. All right. So then I was going to go on to the next one, the typical wedding. I will give you some advice. Because let's face it, Grandpa and Grandma, they've been a couple for pushing 60 years. And your mom and I, we're pushing 40 years. I don't know about you and Katie, you're pushing 10 years. So obviously, fatherly advice on a wedding here was not going to be the way to go. So finally I thought, what the heck? People like Thomas are going to have really good stories about you. I'll focus on the stuff that I know about you as your father. So there's just a couple stories here I wanted to tell, and I'll get off stage. The first one, actually the only one I want to talk about, was one day, it was a Saturday morning. This is when we usually got the calls from irate parents. We got a call that said, "Hey, your son Sam toilet papered our house and we'd like him to come over and clean up the mess." It was like, I've raised good boys. I'm kind of proud of him. He wouldn't have done that. First off, he wouldn't have done that. Second, he wouldn't have been dumb enough to get caught. So no, I know my boys. But then I was, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, Zachary is the one that, when we got our new home, he set up a bunch of metal cans at the end of the driveway, pop cans. And then he went into the garage with his BB gun and proceeded to shoot out the neighbor's windows. So I was like, yeah, okay, maybe my kids aren't the brightest bulbs. And then the other story that came to mind was the time Matt stripped down to his underwear and waved goodbye to the school buses on the last day of school. It's like, so as a father of these boys, it's like, okay, maybe they're not that good. I mean, maybe Sam did do this, but again, toilet paper, and there's not a lot of evidence in the toilet paper trail here. And that led me to another story as I was thinking about all this. And this is one that Sam and Katie have heard, but I want to share it with the rest of you. It was many years ago when Sam was quite a bit shorter. We were on vacation to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. It was a gorgeous day. Had to be 150 degrees and 99% humidity. We've been standing in line and going on rides all day, and we were just getting tired. So let's go to the Wild West rodeo show. It was a big amphitheater, big stage down front. We moved up halfway up the auditorium, sat down, and just resting our legs, and the show started. And the cowboys are running around, there's horses on the stage, and there's stagecoaches going by, and the white cowboys, which are the good ones, the black ones, the bad ones, and things were happening. And right in the middle of the show, Black Bart came out from the mine tunnel with these big, comically big sticks of dynamite. And he lit the fuse. So the fuse is smoking. And he goes running up the aisle past me, because I was near the aisle where we were, and sits down behind me, and I wasn't paying attention, I'm just watching the rest of the show. And all of a sudden I hear a commotion, I turn around, and there's Sam, little Sam. He got out of his seat, ran into the aisle, stood in front of Black Bart, screamed, did a little run in place, comically ran down the aisle to the stage, turned around, looked back again at Black Bart, screamed again, ran in place, then took off stage, out of the auditorium. And I gotta say, the whole time this was happening, all the actors, the entire audience, everybody stopped and froze and watched this little kid. Even the horses were looking at you like, what the hell is going on? But at the same time, once Sam ran off out of the auditorium, all the eyes slowly turned and looked at me. As if, okay, Dad, what are you going to do? So I had to get up and do the walk of shame, walk out of the auditorium. People started laughing and applauding. The show started again. And I had to go out and find Sam at Universal Studios. So Katie, if there's ever any dynamite in your future, you may have to take care of it yourself. Oh, so I'm talking about then the story with the toilet paper. So it was within the realm of possibility that Sam could have been guilty, but I didn't think so. Again, he's a pretty good kid. And I doubt that there was any DNA testing on toilet paper back then. And I was pretty sure you couldn't get fingerprints off of toilet paper. So I thought we were pretty safe there too. And the other cool thing is, Sam, you've always had a really cool group of friends. We've always admired that about you. So I knew that they would give you an alibi. We trusted and respected your friends. Except for Mr. Nasca. You know, Mr. Nasca, you always kind of scared us, no offense. You were always the loose cannon. So I got on the phone with his father and say, what makes you think this is my son? Because again, I'm pretty sure circumstantial evidence was going to hold up in court. No jury would convict. And he said, well, when I was chasing the boy across the yard here, he dropped his East Lake High School gym bag. It had Boucher written in big letters. So we changed our plea to guilty and we moved on with our life. So, like I said, I like to do a sentimental thing, but I can't. For obvious reasons. Because I'd be a blubbering fool. And the reality is, as a father of these three boys, I'm used to being the fool, but the blubbering part, that'd be kind of new to me, so I don't want to do that. So instead, I'd like to offer a toast to Sam and Katie Boucher on this, your first wedded day.
Yes.
No, and I will say, I am so glad. I checked with Sam before I even thought about doing this speech he forced me to do. And I asked, is Katie going to take our name? He said yes. And I was so excited because I have no idea what rhymes with Metzger. I really don't. So that was going to be, oh crap, I had to ask Thomas for help. All right, so to Sam and Katie Boucher on this, your first wedded day. To a lifetime of love and support of each other, whatever you do, keep in touch with your mother. To a home filled with laughter, though your death's a disaster. Here's to the start of your happily ever after.
Cheers.
Cheers.